So this is just a reminder that you are going to have your independent reading project due on Monday, November 22nd. So that is next Monday. You have read, hopefully by this point, a book of your choice, preferably one you have not read before. You are going to prove that you've read the book. There are two ways we're going to do this. The first is to create a brochure and to have a book talk on the 22nd. So I have created some requirements which you should have already in front of you, or at least in your possession. The independent reading brochure has various requirements for that. So this brochure is folded into thirds. On the cover of your brochure, you're going to put the book title, the author, and the genre of the book. So is it science fiction, mystery, thriller, romance? What is it? And then you're going to create a new cover for the book. So you're going to draw it, create cool graphics, find images on the internet, paste them on there. But it is a new cover. It is not for a cover that already exists. So then on the inside, you will have 3 sections. The first section will look at the major characters. So you're going to list the main characters and give a description about each one. You are going to describe the setting of the story. So where does the story take place? How is the setting important? You should give a brief summary of the book without giving away the ending. So a great way to do this is to use the somebody wanted but so then format. So this is the template I like to use for a summary. So somebody, who's the main character? What does the main character want? What is the problem? And how did the character or person try to solve the problem? And then what was the resolution or the outcome? How did the story end? So again, you don't want to give away too much, but just, was it an unexpected ending, a happy ending, maybe a sad ending? You want to be a little specific on that. If you need help, please ask. And then finally on that inside 3-panel section, you will explain the picture on the front of your brochure. Does it represent anything significant in the novel? Explain that. You can draw or find a map of the story location. It could be a map of the town, a map of the state. Maybe it's a floor plan of the house that the story takes place in. You can create this. You can find one online, but create a map. And then what is the conflict of the story? Is it man versus man, man versus self, or man versus nature? And explain how you know this. Now, there might be more than one conflict in the story. Last but not least, we want to look at the inside flap and the back of the brochure. So on the inside flap, you are going to write a theme or a lesson that is presented in the book. So a good way to do this is to think about keywords that describe the story, and then what is the author saying about that keyword. So for example, if I'm saying the story is about friendship, what is the author saying about friendship? And your answer to that question is your theme statement. You're going to create also a recommendation of the book. Did you like it? Why or why not? Who would like reading this book? If you liked reading this book, what other books might people enjoy? So again, if obviously you've read this book. I'm hoping you liked it. What are some other maybe titles by the same author? You could even Google that part of the information. If you like this book, these are some other books to try out. And then the very last panel on the back is about the author. So you're going to list the author's name, other books by the author. So again, you might have to Google that or look on the inside cover of your book. And then look through the book, and you want to find 3 important quotes from the story. So these quotes could relate to a turning point. It could be a hook, a teaser. It could reveal something about the conflict. You will want to include page numbers and character names, like who said it. And these should not be just random quotes. Okay? So you want to be very thoughtful in this. So once you have prepared your brochure, you need to prepare for the book talk. And there are book talk requirements. You received this the other day in class, last Friday, and that was the 12th of November. So this is on a yellow sheet of paper. It's also linked in this presentation. I'm going to go over the book talk requirements. This will happen in small groups. If you are not ready, your grade will be a 0. This is the end of the trimester summative. We will not be having a makeup discussion like we did for the other kindred discussions. So let's go over the requirements for the book talk. So your book talk notes must be with you on Monday, November 22nd. They must be typed and printed out. So you need to plan ahead. If you need to print out in the media center in the morning, please do that, but do not come to class and ask if you can go to the library. My answer is going to be no. So make sure you plan ahead, have them printed out so you can turn in your notes after your discussion. You will want to prepare enough for 7 to 10 minutes to talk about your book. If you have done your brochure and you've done quality work on your brochure, you should not have a problem. So the first question asks, why did you choose this book? Was it what you thought it would be? Why or why not? So you want to thoroughly explain. Again, all answers, remember I'm using this in addition to walking around and listening to your conversations. So I want you to prepare a response that allows me to understand if I don't hear every single point that you make because I'm walking around the room, I understand why you chose this book. You're going to give a short summary. Again, if you use the somebody wanted but so then, not a problem at all. You've already done that on your brochure. You're going to flag 2 short passages in your book. I recommend choosing teaser passages, passages that are interesting or intriguing. Again, you have already prepared this. You've found this in you've put this in your brochure already. So that should not be a problem. Then you're going to look, what is a movie, a poem, a picture, or a song that connects to the book? Explain how it connects to the book. You want to use specifics. So you will need to quote. You could even include maybe like the lyrics of the song if you think that would help your audience. Be sure to cite and include page numbers where necessary, especially if using another book. Please do not use an actual movie of your book. That doesn't count. Okay, so you want to stretch here a little bit and find another movie. Okay, and don't use a song from the movie either. Like, find something different. Stretch. Number 5 says, look at the brochure you made. What was your recommendation? What rating did you give it? Who might like it? So again, you're just repeating that same information. And then number 6 does the same thing. What was one of the themes in your book? You're going to use a few short direct quotes from the book to support your theme. Remember, you want your theme to be specific, but not so specific it only applies to this book. Likewise, we don't want cliches like money can't buy happiness. Like that's boring. go beyond that. Okay, it's overused. So, maybe think money can't buy happiness when. So come ask me if you're having troubles with this. Okay, so you're going to be talking for about 7 to 10 minutes on your book. You want to make sure that you have enough to say. We also gave you access to the rubric, which I'm going to go over again. So we're going to take a look at the basic requirements here first, that you have book cover art, that you've explained it, you've done your quotes, you've identified a theme, that you have a recommendation, you have the setting, the map, you've identified the conflict, you've talked in your small groups, and you have prepared for questions 1 and 4 specifically for the discussion prep that's been typed, and you are ready to go. And I will be checking those as you come into the classroom. Now, going for a 4, your brochure and discussion prep would be excellent. Your theme would be incredibly unique and universal without being cliche, or without being a cliche, excuse me. So again, put some time into that. And then again, you're talking for 7 to 10 minutes. So that would mean that you are meeting for sure that 7-minute mark, if not going over. If you get a 2, that's because your discussion and brochure might be vague or incomplete. It might look a little rushed, a little sloppy. You spoke during your discussion, but you didn't quite meet the time requirement, or you were not prepared at the time of the discussion. So this would be, hey, going down and asking to print, or having to pull it up on your Chromebook because you weren't prepared with your stuff printed out ahead of time. So you have access to all of this. If in doubt, please go back and look. And if you can't find your answer to your question, by all means, ask. Again, this is due on the 22nd of November. Good luck, everyone.